Springbok rugby is starting from scratch, which will hopefully mean that reputation alone won't get a player in the team, and that the best players in whatever position they play will be chosen.
There's so many names that pop up in round 1 and 2 of Super Rugby who I didn't even know last year, and players I've been following now since November and watching the matches that South Africa played last year, the Springboks played last year, and 4, 5 or 6 names that popped up in round 1 and 2 that are exciting, which we are now putting on the radar and saying, this guy, he's got X factor, he's got tremendous skills now, let's start following this guy. So I think we must go from a clean sheet.
Erasmus talks a lot about intellectual property, or IP. He used the Bulls' victory against the Hurricanes as an example. He says the Springbok game plan will not just copy a Super Rugby team, but they would be foolish not to take notice of what works.
Losing guys like Johan Ackerman, who has massive intellectual property, we shouldn't do the same with a guy like Swayze and Robert and Flecky and John Mitchell. I'm saying there's so much IP there, and those guys have got so much knowledge. I think this weekend's games showed beating teams from abroad. We beat them quite easily, and it's almost could have won their game abroad. So I think there's a lot going on there. If you can align those thoughts, if you can align those players' thoughts, and then I don't think our skill levels are as bad as everybody thinks it is. I'm not saying we're right up there, number 1 or number 2 in the world, but I'm saying if you take those things and you align that, and you get those guys to think the same, and we don't always go maybe and say this is the way we're going to coach, and maybe find out this is how John Mitchell is coaching. You have to introduce a little bit of that. Of course, some of these players is playing for you. That's more or less what I mean with alignment and IP.
Although his contract is for the next 6 years, Erasmus says he will be treated like any other coach who's been shown the door previously if he doesn't perform. Harry Olivier, SABC News, Johannesburg.